sometimes when you get to the pointy end of it, you've really got to dig deep. And I think as horse trainers, we often have to do that every bloody day, sometimes twice a day, you know, to be able to physically do it, to be able to put the money together for the hay bills and the farrier bills, and it's pretty wild. And you know, losing the best member of our team, Greg, who just holds everything together. You know, he is the glue that holds everything together. You know, he's the stars that hold the universe apart. So it's been a very rough couple of weeks. And the only thing I can tell you, when you get to this point, and whether it's horses or whatever it is that you're doing, when you get to this point, you just got to remember what it is that you really, really want. And if you can dream it, you can do it. I mean, why else would you have the desire to do it if you couldn't do it? So we just got to keep going. And I always get to the point where I just go, you know, worrying about it isn't going to make any difference. So I'm just going to fluff through it and try and smile while I go. So this morning our working pupil had to go home. She's also doing a medical degree. And we've got way too much work for 2 people to get through. And as the usual horse stables, you got loads of bills and wet weather and everything else. So we're going to dig deep and we're going to get it done. Good morning. So Greg's had his hip surgery and we are discovering just how many blue jobs there are on a farm. We've been dragging out giant generators and I couldn't even get the handbrake off the float. And now I can't get the jockey wheel. I'm just filthy trying to get this jockey wheel pin to come out so I can spin it around. And it's so stuck. And I'm thinking, how did Greg actually do so many things on a farm and make it look so freaking easy? So I'm going to go get some WD-40. Okay, so it's really not my forte, any blue jobs. But I can't even figure out how to spray this freaking thing. So I'm an absolute mess since Greg hasn't been here. No makeup, no nothing. There's no time. Blue jobs, as it turns out, take twice as long as any other job. If I can just figure this grease out, that would be handy. Like we've just, Greg needs a lot of nursing, so that's been huge. You know, and the arena is flooded, so we've been digging drains on it all morning. Oh, there we go. Look at me. I've got the thing spraying. Thank God. Definitely not cut out any blue jobs. Oh, my God. Okay. Right, how can that... Right, let's just go up a little more. Out. There's always some other way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Maybe while that's out, I'll give it another spray. Farmer Bill here. Bloody hell. Honestly, you know, being a horse chick is not all it's cracked up to be sometimes. The heavy lifting and the hours and the weather and... Oh. All right, here we go. Civilization again. All right, what shall I do next? Right, time to go get the horses and time to head off to the indoor. Which boots want to come and get lovely and muddy with me? I love these new ones. No, it's too muddy. I'm going to go get my brown ones. Right, so I'm going to go get the horses. We're going to take them to the indoor and just try and somehow get ready for a show with no surface to ride on at home. So, yay. Well, somehow we'll get the horses over to the indoor and we will get to this show. We've had sick horses. Dad not well. Andy slammed all her fingers. Andy slammed all her fingers in a car door, so she's going to lose a couple of fingernails. We're definitely girls on the farm.
Yeah, and I had to fix her fence with baling twine and sticks.
Did you?
Yeah.
With baling twine and sticks. We've obviously got some fairly quiet horses if you're going to work with baling twine and sticks.
I did though.
You did? Yeah, I know you did. You were telling me the other night, I had a bit of a giggle to myself and I thought, right, that's really not good.
I thought Dad told me to do that.
Okay.
The exercise just finished. You're going to saddle up now? You about ready, Mum?
Just about. I'm just going to saddle up and so we're loading them saddled today.
And bandaged too.
And then we just arrive at the indoor, put their bridles on. We'll go put our long boots on. I moved all the long boots now. I might just... No, not like that.
Like this. Look what Jock just did. Oh my god. Look at that. About to saddle up Jockey boy. And yesterday he was rubbing his tail in the float, so he just patted it and wrapped the top of his tail. Ready to be saddled?
So the horses were really, really good. We're really happy with them, weren't we, Andy?
Yeah, they were really amazing.
Yeah. So Jockey's, we're hoping to get him ready for CDI because he's had a really bad virus. So he's had quite a long sleep. Yeah. So we do like one element only of the test with him. We warm him up for 3 minutes. We do 25 minutes walk, and then we just do like one trot section, like a shoulder and a half pass. And we're hoping that he reaches peak fitness in 5 days' time.
I know, well, like, I was thinking today we were running through the trot element, and I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta do this next week, but the whole test.
Yeah. I don't know, it looks really good today, and I think feel like he's definitely well again. So we'll call it, what day should we decide?
I think Monday, because that's like the day before.
Well, I think Sunday, because then I need to get
We're
back.
riding Sunday.
Yes, we are. After giving him 3 weeks off, yes, we're riding. Maybe just walking.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we're going to go home and try and do more blue jobs. I didn't tell you any of our video of me trying to put the float on. I was covered in dirt
Oh, is that
and
what you
grease.
got?
Couldn't get the thing on the thing and the thing off the thing. And it's just not, I'm just not cut out for blue jobs. Now I'm still going to get the bloody thing off.
Yeah, it's hard to get it off.
And then the generator to pump up the tyre and...
I know how to do that.
I know. Well, this is a trial by fire. We're definitely learning all the things that Daddy just quietly goes and does, and we just get our horses and off we go. So now we're not only doing the hard yards, trying to earn enough money to own our beautiful horses and stuff, but we're also turning into farm chicks as well. Okay, here's your headsets. So guys, we've been flooded and going to and from arenas, and our arena is finally good. I'm just about to go down and dig all the drains, and then Andy and I are going to train. We're making a decision whether or not Jack feels bright and fit enough to go to CDI because he had a virus a couple of weeks ago and he's
4
recovered.
days before CDI.
It's now 4 days before CDI. Yesterday the day before, I had a client sack me as a 5-year-old doing medium, scoring in the low 70s, and not winning but placing really well, and she said he's not advanced enough, and that basically I'm not doing a good enough job, which is just really heartbreaking. And of course she couldn't do it in a nice way, she had to do it in a really repugnant, ugly way, and I really value people that are rational and reasonable, so that's always that's why I'm wearing no makeup and just I don't get deeply upset about stuff like that. I just get surprised, and it takes me a while to recenter after that kind of behavior, because basically people are going to do what they're going to do, life's going to do what it's going to do, and we all just have to roll with the punches. We're not going to waste any of our life feeling anxious or awful, are we, Andy? We're going to live our happy life.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It's hard though.
Especially the way they did it. It was not very nice.
No. There's definitely that horrible moment of like, oh wow, I've met another awful person in the world. And you give your heart and soul to your clients and to their horses, and so it's always
I just think when I meet an awful person that it helps me become a better person.
Does it? How?
Because you think when
That's
you
true.
think of yourself, when you think of them, you're like, oh, they're so ugly inside, because sometimes outside. And
Often outside.
and I want to be a better person, and I don't want to be like them. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be kind to everyone that I see.
Well, it takes a lot of courage to be kind and to be okay after somebody's done something awful to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Actually, I need a hug, Andy. Andy's done a lot of hugging the last few days because when one of my horses leaves, I don't cope very well, do I?
No.
Oh well, still got my jockey boy. That's why I've always owned my own horses, because I cannot stand the horses being taken away from me, and especially when they're taken away in an awful way. You don't get to help the next trainer and...
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to...
Should I put it Lanolin instead of...
Yeah, you should. Lanolins are way better. Just another blue job. I've dug in all the drains on the arena. So we drained it's a dome-shaped arena, so we just put little drains all down the long side so the water can get off. I'm definitely feeling that is a blue job. And now Andy's just warming up. We do 25 minutes in walk, just half passes, walk pirouettes, all that kind of stuff just to warm him up. I feel like I need to go on a holiday to the Bahamas after this. But of course the horses need new shoes, so there'll be no holidays to the Bahamas for us. New shoes for Chuck though. The quality of his walk will make a difference to the quality of all of his work. Good, now sit up really tall. Yeah, press your lower back, like you've got a wall behind you. Good, and yeah, really good. Just land and pick his foot up. As soon as he lands, he picks it up. Little steps, huge crossover. You don't need any more crossover, just little steps. So that side pass, which is a half pass because we've got the flexion, is our way of telling whether or not he's going to be quick enough at his age to trot on. Good. And then just draw a diagonal line and travere it, Andy, when you lose the quarters like that. Either turn it into a leg yield. That's it. Good. Perfect. Little steps, lots of little steps, lots of little steps, lots of little steps. Clever boy, Jackie. Good. Short side. Practice the collected walk that you would do in your Grand Prix test. So ribs up, and with him I always pretend like I'm sitting in a chair and nothing's disturbing my balance. And then if I can't sit so beautifully like I would sitting on a stool or a chair, I look to where the horse is stopping me sitting beautifully. Really good. Wow. I didn't have to stop. That's hurting me. Oh, is that good? So this is the tax you pay for the horses doing what we want to do instead of rolling around in their paddocks and eating all day. We want them to be dressage horses, so they get all our love for that. Is that good? What's the other tax you've got to pay, Andy?
Carrots.
So you didn't even hesitate for that answer, did you? What's this, Jack? What's this? What's this? He's checking if it's got any medicine on it. How's your finger, Andy?
Hurts. Really bad.
You alright?
Feel really shaky.
Feel shaky as well. Is that you, Jack? You feel shaky as well? Yeah.
I feel shaky from riding him, actually.
I have never gotten off him without dripping with sweat and feeling like, whoa, it's quite the workout. Most mornings he takes so much energy that I feel like, you know, when you marathon runners, I've never run a marathon, but I've done a lot of long distance running. And just before I'd hit my second stream, I think I was going to pass out and vomit and die. And I usually feel like that just after I sit trot Jack for about 2 minutes.
That's what I feel like right now.
It'll be alright. That's my answer for everything, isn't it, Andy? You'll be alright. Oh! Funny. Ah! You gonna get me again? Alright, go up with Andy.
Do I take him up?
Yeah, I'll take him up. You can go get Bert or socks. I'll do my boy. Do you want to do that, girl?
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going on socks.
Why? So I just only need one here.
I need to
No, just if you run up and down the arena with me.
Oh, I ran with my phone in my pocket.
I know, I went to get it and then I got distracted, sorry.
Caitlin's here in 15 minutes.
Alright. The headsets need charging if you don't
You
mind.
need 5 carrots to walk up.
The big, you're not having 5
No,
carrots.
you can make it all the way if you get 5.
I can make it all the way. Right, you want to take all this up? Just the headsets need charging. Put mine on first. I think they paired it up. Mine was saying low battery. Was yours?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Are there 2 chargers?
No.
Alright, you better race up and get it on then.
So you probably heard me and Mum talking about my finger, if it's okay. So what happened was I was getting out of the car and I smashed my 2 fingers in the car door and I passed out, and my fingers haven't quite recovered yet. And I don't know if I'm okay to ride. Of course I am, but they hurt really bad, and I hurt them when I hopped on today, so particularly bad.
You almost passed out and died when you got on today. Took you 10 minutes to stop from passing out. Dad said he can have a big. Dad said he can have a really big snack. He wants him to put on weight.
Put on weight?
Yeah. I agree. He could carry a bit more. Okay. Just put these bandages.
It looks a bit chunky.
Put the bandages out to dry, and then I'll shake them off, and then put them in the machine.
Okay. I can probably wear them tomorrow.
Yeah, you can dry them and then re-roll them if you want to, because the urinal will still be wet tomorrow. I've got to take Dad up to the house and then go to, but I hope he get his ice on first. Did he cough? I don't think he did.
No, I didn't. So Doc has 6 ice boots as well. He has 4 for his legs, and then
1 for me to trip over.
and then 2 for his back. He's got these ice boots, and these ice boots even work when they're not frozen. These are frozen, but they do work even when they're not frozen because of the new technology in them. And then he's got an ice boot here because he has he's quite stiff in that part, and then back here because we like icing at the back. So he's very relaxed. Then as soon as the ice boots come off, he can have a big hose, and I might wash his mane and tail as well.
I don't think she thinks that, but looks at the first.
It's on her head.
Yeah, it's on her head.
It's on her. Oh my god.
What? Ren, compose yourself. Oh.
What is going on? But why is it on her head?
She's so upset.
But why doesn't she move? They're healing her.
She's so angry. Oh my mom, there's 2 on her head.
But why? This is quite uncanny. It's okay, Andy, thank you. Well, that's certainly not going to heal her, is it? All the ones on the fence are jumping on.
So we've actually got Greg with us today. We've been doing a series on how to cope without you, Greg.
Yeah, it's called Watching TV. Found some good series on the old
Still on
TV.
his little crutches there.
We've got both crutches still. We're actually transferring onto just 1 crutch at the moment, but I've come down to the barn, so I'm back on 2 crutches for today.
So he's come down to give Andy a lesson. So she's got to trot up, and Jack is notorious in the trot ups because he rears up and tries to jump on your head.
No,
Yes,
he
he
loves
does.
trot ups.
But he trots up perfectly for Greg. So we're going to have a lesson with Greg, with his horse,
Done
with his
about
14-year-old daughter, and see if we can get it that he doesn't try and jump on Andy's head.
Derek still grinned at me last CDI when I did a trot up with him because he knew what he was getting.
Yeah, he's only playing, but he's, he's big and he's strong. So we just rode him, and we felt that he was really fit and happy. Our assessments were obviously as he was going, if he was sound and well. And then afterwards, his body posture is very important to us, and he was really bright and upright in his neck. When he wasn't feeling well, he was a little bit down this way.
I thought in his work today he was very fluid, very even.
Yeah. And his breathing was great, which his breathing's
great.
been a bit heavy after even 5 minutes work.
Yeah, and then as you say, when he pulled up, he pulled up, Andy hopped off him, pulled the bridle off him, pulled the saddle off him, and he was quite bright in the eye and everything still. So, you know, he's a 21-year-old horse going in for a CDIJ, so he's got a fairly big week ahead of him. So it was important for us to make sure he's right before he even thinks about going on that float to go in there. So
Oh, yeah.
for us
For
today,
his
he
sake,
looks
yeah.
really good. He looks
Yeah.
110% today.
Yeah.
Looks great.
It's exciting. So off to CDI we go.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so here we have Jockey Boy looking bright and beautiful. He's just had some work. So he's in a trot up bridle. So we've got a captured chain underneath so that it doesn't hurt his mouth.
We're going to change the brow band though.
Are we? Oh, we're going to change the brow band. I don't think anybody cares that much about that.
We're going to make it sparkly.
Okay, we're getting a sparkly brow band. That's what's really important here. And here is our spectators. So we've got KD and Holly. I don't think you guys have been introduced yet. KD's part of the family. She just lives in Canberra. And Holly's a new part of the family. Holly's doing her medical degree and learning to be a dressage diva at the same time. And of course, there's Greg in his pajamas dragged out of his sick bed to show Andy how to do a trot up. So, Greg, could you just give Andy some advice on what she's going to expect when she gets in there?
He's going to feel pretty good when he gets into that indoor. He does love doing his trot ups, but he's been taught how to be led properly since the age of 6 months.
Now, that doesn't mean anything to Jack because Jack is always taking the piss. So,
He's also been fully horse trained as we've done all of our in-hand horses over the years.
oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Greg, get to the good bit.
What Jack always tries to do is be cheeky, and he'll try and reach around and have a bit of a nip because he still thinks he's a 6-year-old stallion.
And he also tries to stomp on directly on the top of your head.
There's no aggression involved at all. He just
Oh, bull crap. Greg, no aggression.
plays. So Andy, just make sure when you walk in that he's up on your shoulder, so his shoulder's up on you, right? So his head's in front of you. And just be aware. So what I do always make sure he's aware of is that you can turn him away from you as well, okay? So as you put your hand up, he should move away from you.
Yeah,
Right?
he's not
So
allowed to
same
move
as all,
into you.
You shouldn't have to touch him. If you have to touch him, he's too close to you.
Okay. All right. So, Caitlin, can you be the judges? They'll be over at E.
Like looping like this?
2 hands.
So, Andy, the judges are E.
Hold on, Mum. How do I hold
Yep.
it?
So yep, that length. All right. If you need to, give him a half pull to slow him down. Yep.
But I feel like I want to do like this. I feel like I'm going to trip over the lead.
So, Andy's holding the rein in one hand, the excess in the other hand. Katie's the judge.
Excess in your other hand, just put it in the loop.
All right. And so,
Flapping around your legs. That's it. Yep.
Oh, that's how I wanted to hold it.
So Andy, you and I'll be standing in the corner here like we did last year with Jack and Ren, okay? And then you'll watch the others work out, and then Greg, tell her the workout.
So you'll always watch the horses prior, just in case the stewards and that decide to change your workout for your trot ups. But basically where you stand there now, so we say Caitlin's the steward for the trot ups, for the vet. You'll walk out, introduce yourself, they'll check his number, because you'll have his numbers on, of course, guys. Make sure your numbers are on for your trot ups. Always smile when you approach them, so it's a very friendly thing. There's nothing severe about it. They're just there to make sure your horse is sound. You're going to walk out to the judges, out to the stewards, sorry. Introduce yourself if you want to. Say good morning, good afternoon. They can check his number, and then they'll tell you where to go. They'll tell you to trot down towards the plant, turn around the plant, and then trot back up towards them in a straight line. So Andy, he could have been up on your shoulder a bit more there, even walking out. Feel how he's dragging me. So he's behind your leg straight away, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, and there he's going to bite you.
Yep, and he turns his nose. Be aware of him. See how he turns his nose into you? Don't shorten your lead anymore. Good. Now put your whip in neutral, which is straight up and down. You can see that whip out the corner of his eye. Hold your whip straight up and down.
Bring him up to your shoulder.
What do I do?
Hold your whip straight up and down.
What do you mean, like this?
Watch. When your whip's there, he can see it out the corner of his eye. That's neutral, that's engaged.
Show us again.
Neutral,
Yeah.
engaged.
All right. Now, everybody just, Andy, for a minute, sweetheart, can I just tell you, if he turns his nose to you, he's going to bite you. He thinks it's really funny. Bring him up so that you're at his shoulder, because bring him up to your shoulder and make him keep his head in front of his chest. Don't let him curl around you like that. Okay, sorry, Greg. All right, ready, Andy?
Ollie,
You can do it, Andy.
Good,
come here.
Good boy, Jack.
good.
That's better.
Ollie.
Go, then walk, turn.
Ollie looked really sound, actually. There he goes. Where is he? He's
Good,
done
make
with
sure
the
he's
trot
in
up.
front of you before you trot off. Good girl, yeah, that's how you want him to feel. Good girl.
I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looked really nice. You're going to CDI, baby.
You excited?
Yeah, I am.
It's been a very tense couple of weeks because I said to Andy, unless Jack really wants to go, we're not going because I want him to be happy and well. So are you excited?
I am really excited.
She's very laid back about it. I thought you were going to jump around.
I am really excited.
I'm really excited. Thank you, Andy. I'm glad that we got that moment on camera. Come on, Jack, let's go. All right, next customer. Thanks, Greg. So we also have Caitlin here getting ready for CDI, and this is Dolly. And what are we competing at? Grand Prix?
No, advanced.
And so Caitlin's come from Canberra, and we can't see your head behind Dolly's head there. I'm not a good cameraman. It's not my forte. So tell us what you're working, why you've come all the way from Canberra.
Just because it's good to get a little bit of a refresher on my lessons leading into a big show, and especially in an environment that her and I are comfortable in.
When you say environment that you're comfortable in, as in you're with your coach you've been with for a long time, or you like this arena, or?
That I'm with a coach that I've been with for a long time and I've seen success in Dolly's training with.
Okay, so she trusts me. She loves me. And what we're doing is, so the horses don't get tired, is we've taken the tester apart. And yesterday we worked on some of the elements out of the 5-2. So what do you want to work on today, Caitlin?
Maybe the canter pirouettes and the extended canter to climb change.
Extended canter, yep. And trot work, did you want to go back over? Yesterday we found that we had a little bit too much flexion left and not quite enough right. Did you want to touch on that as well?
Yeah, maybe do that and then do the shoulder and to half pass on tomorrow.
Yeah. So guys, if you're able to coach with your coach a little more often into the show, it's a lot more relaxing, because then if the coach says it's good, it's good. If it's not so good, the coach is there to be able to tell you a little more this, a little more that. So it's a lot easier on a competitor if you have your coach there. Caitlin also reached out to a few really good coaches closer to her, been really helping her a lot as well. Wait, just cut off your head, Caitlin. Why am I moving everything? I really am bad at videoing. But the moral of the story is, if you can get a little bit more support, Dolly's determined not to see your face. It's a really pretty face too. So we'll video a little bit of the lesson. There she is. We'll video a little bit of the lesson as we go along so you can see what we're working on. But Dolly is actually Jockey Boy's sister. That's why she's so gorgeous. Aren't you? She's trying to look as ungorgeous as possible. She's like, I do not want to be a movie star. Ollie's also here to do some coaching. A hawk got one of our chickens this morning, so we're hiding all the dogs here with me. Oh no, you're here. It looks terrible. You need to go to the hairdressers. Ali, don't lick. What do you think? B5. Good boy. Good boy. So the next thing that we do to prepare for CDI is we saddle up the other horses and they ride through the difficult tests over and over so that Jack doesn't have to. So Andy's about to do the CDIJ on Socks, who's a novice elementary horse. So it's a little bit hard for him, but he's going to have a go at it anyway. And then Jack doesn't have to go over and over the work that Andy wants to practice. So let's go, Andy. Just drop your foot out. So Andy's just adjusted his stirrup. They felt a little bit long. So you want to relax your leg completely. You want to have it 2 fingers above your boot heel. No, they're not too short. They're a full hole too short. But if you're feeling like he's a little bit bouncy, it's okay.
Is my leg sitting okay?
So is your heel, when Andy says is her leg sitting okay, you want the heel underneath the hip, sit up straight. Yeah, it's fine. I ride in that short sometimes. Well, don't let it do that. Just gently lay your knee down and keep your heel down. So getting fit for Socks is quite the job. So if you want to put your stirrups up every now and then, just put them back down when you're finished, Andy, and then tomorrow when you get on, it'll feel normal again. The horses have had to have a little bit of time off when the rain's been so heavy, because you can't always book the indoor. So Socks doesn't do, oops, just lost sound. You got sound, Andy? I've lost sound.
I can hear you.
Oh, I've lost your sound. Okay. Okay. Just take your time. Exhale. Allow him to hold. Okay, he doesn't have to travel any more than that. Good. And then hands up and allow him. Hold hands with him and allow him to come to the trot. Just squeeze your outside rein. So it's definitely trot. Keep his head steady between the rein. Vibrate your fingers. Good job. Right. And now do the medium trot rising because he's had a spell. Shoulders back. Good. Wait till he's straight. Good. Uphill. Good. That's a working trot, but that's fine. I had a week off in the pouring rain, so that's fine. Good. And think if you're on Juck, how you ride these corners. Socks will just do it a little easier than Juck. Good. Put your right shoulder back and your left shoulder forward. So the glamorous life that we lead, and everyone says, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. So we got out of bed in the dark this morning and we've been digging drains for about an hour, and every part of my body hurts. I have a new respect for Greg. So the horses just can't go on surfaces like this. It's just, they put their foot down and their foot's going to move. So we've just got to keep going, haven't we, KD?
Yep.
Here we go again, still raining. Dug all the drains and the arena's still too wet, so we're off to the indoor to spend all our money on Andy going to CDI. Oh, I'm so off from digging all those drains.
I'm glad I had to sleep and I didn't have to do those drains.
Anybody who laughs, makes me laugh, is in trouble. My abs are killing me. My entire body is killing me from digging drains. So we've got 2 more days. We're going to go in a day later to CDI. We've decided with Jack so that he gets 1 more sleep at home because they don't sleep well at the shows.
Well, we're setting up on Tuesday and then going in Wednesday morning.
Yeah. So a little bit extra work for us, but gives Jack a better opportunity to have a little sleep. We've got Holly in the bag. Don't know if you guys have met Holly yet. Hi. I gave Holly a chocolate as repayment for slopping around in the mud all morning. I think that's a worthy payment, Holly. KD got me a coffee, thank God. After digging the drains, I'm slowly slipping away. You're digging the drains tomorrow, aren't you?
I don't know how to dig drains.
You can learn. You can learn on the
I
job.
want to do it with a pipper scooper.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I couldn't find a shovel.
God. Did it work?
No?
No.
Oh, actually, no, it did.
So Andy's learning how to be resourceful and Greg's not there. So every time Andy asks me a question, I said, oh, what do you think? You're in charge. And so many children these days are mollycoddled by their parents, and Andy's days of coddling are over, aren't they, Andy? Says Andy that goes, I had to sleep in and had some chocolate chip French toast this morning. No, you work really hard. You're a very unusual 14-year-old. You work really hard. I wish we'd videoed Caitlin doing that. I hope you're watching this, Caitlin. Caitlin doing the drains this morning. She had a phone in one hand and I was grunting and sweating and my glasses were fogging up and I was almost crying with the exertion. I looked over, she was holding the shovel, leaning on it a little bit and scrolling with her other hand.
I saw her doing that.
It was so funny, but she did actually really help once she actually picked up the shovel and used the shovel as God intended. Oh. Right, so we'll go into the indoor and then we'll switch the cameras back on again. There's electric brakes, they're too heavy. And we will show you a little bit. So Jack now goes into his, where we're winding him right down, so he's got loads of energy for the comp, but we just touch base with one thing out of the test all the way into the show. So today we're doing his extended canter, which
and in the canter there's a half 10 with a flying change in between.
well, maybe we'll do that because this surface is a lot fluffier than ours and the extended canter's not going to be much fun on that, so we might do that instead. But he's only going to get 5 minutes actual training today. It's all going to be about the walk and the stretch and just getting out and about, and then he'll probably have a good half an hour walk because he hasn't been out of his box yet. It's too wet to even put them out today. So when we get home we'll put their waterproof rugs on and they can all go out and have a paddle about, but I didn't want them out with their
Socks had to go out.
Oh, did he? Oh, actually, yeah, I noticed his box was empty. All right, guys, we'll see you in the indoor. Oh, looking a little bit wet down there. I just had rain dripping down my face, my ears, my nose. There's Jackie boy. He's much happier if he's got somebody to follow around. So Holly's taking that bullet. I'm sitting up here in my chair recovering from digging drains at the arena. You nervous for the show yet? Give you another day before the adrenaline just courses through your body. Every 10 seconds you get another shot of adrenaline to your gut. So I'm looking at my most beautiful. Really happy with that. I did actually have time to put some makeup on this morning for the first time in 2 weeks. I've been looking particularly hideous. So we're going to school Caitlin first, and then Jack, so he's got lots of time to walk and just get himself nice and limber. Just trying to keep the horses really fresh for the show. They both only did one element out of their test. Dolly did one trot element, one canter, and Jack, because he's older and more experienced, only did one canter element. And then tomorrow, Jack will do one trot element, and Dolly will probably have the day off tomorrow so she can have a muscle rest. The main thing is bringing them into competition feeling really excited and happy to be there. So the best thing about competition for our horses is that you get to, instead of having 10 horses, you have 1 or 2. This competition we've all got 1 horse each to look after, which is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. So we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we start really getting ready for CDI. Packing, polishing, all the good stuff.